If you are currently sitting in a life that feels stuck for you, feeling trapped, feeling that you are fed up with the current situation that you're in right now, that you want a different life, what you need to do is to realize, are you really tired with your life? I saw a common theme in my last video. I saw a lot of comments and they were all very similar. There were there was a common theme that I kept seeing in my comments of, I'm already this age and I have done nothing with my life. I have nothing for myself. Or I am this age. I can't get out. I'm trapped here. I don't know what to do. It was a very common theme that I kept seeing in my comment section on being trapped and being of a certain age and not being able to get out, or even being younger than me and not knowing how to get out, not knowing how to break that pattern or that cycle. So I'm here in my cycle trying to break my patterns, trying to break through my conditioning, through my limited self, because what happens is that we are conditioned to be limited and we are conditioned to live life through the lens that was passed down to us. And if that lens is not a lens that is open and expansive and explorative and allows you to be yourself, to be expressive, to be in connection with yourself and to be at peace with yourself and be vulnerable and be just open, then we're going to live a life that is full of contrast and retraction. And we're going to always feel tense, always feel fear, always feel scared, always feel worried. And every situation we put ourselves in that mimics the environment that we have been experiencing since we were a child, it is going to keep on reappearing in your experiences as you grow up. And I've noticed that this has not just become my journey on here and my story, but it's also become your story and part of your journey, because how I am trying to unravel my wounds, my conditioning, my limited self into finding my freedom because I deserve it. I hope that you can also find what you need from my experience and what I've learned so far in my life that can serve you in some way. I did bring a few notes, and the point that I want to get to is, how do you know that you are tired and fed up with the way your life is? How do you know? I have I was disrupted by butterflies. How do you know? So, we get very comfortable being in the known, okay? And the known is the environment. The known is what we experienced as children. And if we experienced a very abusive, violent childhood, we're going to move through life attracting those same kind of experiences in different ways. They might not be violent, but they're going to be abusive. They're going to mimic what you experienced as a child as you grow up. And you're going to attract circumstances, people, situations that are going to mirror that and affirm to you that that is the life that you're meant to live. So, what happened to me? Because for the last, I'm not going to say 43 years of my life, but for the last 25 years of my life, I have been tired with my life. I've been tired with the way that I've been living my life. And I've been very aware of how my life is. And the last 6 years, I became so aware that it was so scary to be aware of how aware I am. I told that to my therapist once. I was like, sometimes being so aware is terrifying because you're so aware of what's happening to you and what you are experiencing and what you unconsciously keep choosing. And you're so aware of it, but you're so stuck. And I feel like being so self aware can also be so trap you in itself because you're aware, but you don't know how to get out. And that's where I found myself. And that's, that is where there has to be a moment in your life. And I'm sure we've all had moments like these in our lives, maybe not pertaining to the experience that we're having as far as being trapped, but we have had a moment where we're like, I don't want to do this. And you don't do it anymore. You just so firmly were like, I'm not doing this, and you just stopped doing it. Or you made a decision to um let go of a job that made you miserable and you took that decision. Now, what is harder, what is way harder is when you're conditioned, because as children, okay, when we are up to like age of 7, we are a sponge and we are absorbing our environment, how we're being taught, the things we're being said, the way that we're being treated, the way that we are allowing ourselves to express our emotions and how those emotions are being received, how our parents are supporting us or comforting us or being there for us, helping us, guiding us. If you need help with schoolwork, they come in to help you with the schoolwork. Like all of what you're experiencing until the age of 7 is all being absorbed. Your brain is a literal sponge. So that is how you navigate later on your adult life. Okay. So if you are completely conditioned by the age of 35, that becomes hardwired to your programming, like to your mind. It becomes a hardwired program that is very, very hard to break. You now have to work twice or 3 times as hard as someone who is 20 years old, for example, that can easily go in there and rewire themselves. So what does it take? What does it take for you to be like, I'm done with the life that I'm living and I want a new life for myself, a life that I feel I deserve and a life that I want to experience, because I no longer want to be experiencing my life through the shadows of my parents or my relationship or my siblings or my friends or whomever, because we do tend to live our lives through the lenses of others. And we're always looking and wishing for the things that they experience that we can also experience too. But we are so stuck in our programming, in our condition, that we cannot have any of those experiences because we have blocked ourselves from that path, our own selves. We have blocked our way. I know I said that in a different way, but we all blocked ourselves from that path, from that possibility. So what does it take? You have to be so angry and so tired and so fed up with your life that you're like, that's it, I'm done. I'm not continuing my life this way. I need to make a change, and it's going to be now. Just the thought and the firm decision of you being fed up and tired and wanting a new life, that you get up and you do something different for that life you want to attain. If it means to show up on YouTube because you've always felt called to show up on YouTube and make a video of you explaining your life story and that was a calling to you, you go and you do that. If it feels like you need to you have the financial means to just take your stuff and go and start somewhere new, you go and you do that. What holds us back is the fear and the conditioning and the programming and all of these things that keep keeping you, holding you back, because you're living in your present day. What you're living is your past experience. You're not living your future moment. You're not living the moment in the present. You're living your future. You're living your past. You're reliving the past every single day. You wake up with the same feelings, same emotions, same thoughts, same patterns. And that's the same story that plays out every single day. Every single day. And I know this because I experienced that. I am the perfect example on how I have been living my life the exact same way my entire life being controlled by the exact same conditioning and programming and beliefs that I was told about myself. And I have been moving through life that way. So what it really takes is for you to really be fed up. Now, we can be fed up and be comfortable being fed up, because my mom is a perfect example of that. And not just my mom, but so many people that I've encountered in my life. They're so comfortable in the misery. And they are so miserable and they hate their life, but they're comfortable in that misery because it's known to them. The moment that you gotta step out of that known and go into the unknown, and you don't know what is going to happen on that side, you gotta trust that side more than your unknown. You gotta believe in that side more than your unknown. You gotta firmly just stand in that unknown and be like, take me wherever you need to take me or wherever you need to lead me, and I'm gonna follow through because this is not the life that I wanna have anymore. And you literally have to just be so firm and not look back. And that is what I did. That is what I did. When I saw myself that day feeling like my child self again in the bathroom, having a nervous breakdown where my whole body was shaking, and I got out of that bathroom and I allowed that day to pass by me and a few more days passed by me, I started processing and I was like, no, there is no reason why I have to continue to live my life on eggshells and live my life according to someone else's way of being. I outgrew my environment years ago, but because of fear and because of the belief that I was not worthy and I couldn't do anything myself, I allowed the system to run me through life and control my life. I thought, hey, I am 40 years old and I have nothing with my life and I've done nothing with my life and I'm a nobody. And then I woke up being 43 years old telling myself, I'm 43 years old. I have not lived life. I don't know anything about life. I am stuck. I am so stuck. Your thoughts, feelings, emotions, they're all experiencing the past in the current moment. So you're constantly living in the past, in the present moment. And that's why you feel you cannot get out. You don't see possibility. You don't see a world where things can change. You can't envision it because you are so stuck in what you have been experiencing for most of your entire life that you don't believe that anything is possible. Because I didn't believe anything was possible. You know what it is being 43 years old and not having anything? Not having anything that I can say, hey, I've done this, I've done that. The only thing that I can say that I have done is that back in 2012, I went on a trip to Dominican Republic because a friend of mine was getting married and me and my sister went. And I did not travel ever again until 4 years ago that I went to Colorado for the first time in my entire life. Other than when I moved from New Jersey to where I am now. So I don't know anything really. I've just been to Dominican Republic, New Jersey, where I'm at, and Colorado. And I fell in love with Colorado. I wanted to move to Colorado so bad. But look at me, I'm still in the same place 4 years later. Still wanting and dreaming that I would have loved to have moved over there. And being 20 years old, I envisioned that my life, I was going to have maybe 2 kids, a husband. Yeah, that didn't happen. That vision that I had didn't happen. Why? Because all I experienced my entire life was a dysregulated relationship. 2 people who married for I don't know what reasons, because there was obviously lack of love in that relationship. They decided to have 2 girls, or, well, they didn't decide the gender, but they decided to have 2 kids, and they just did not know how to do better than they did. They raised us in a way that they were raised, and they thought that that was the way that you raise children and that that was proper to them. And the psychological effects that that does to you as a child is, as you grow up, is it just affects every area of your life. Your confidence, the way you see yourself, the way you present yourself, the way you make decisions, all of that affects you. So what needs to happen is that you really need to be fed up. You really need to hit that. You need that trigger to really just make you so angry that you're like, no, I am so done. I'm not doing this. I'm not living this way. I'm done. And you make that firm decision and don't look back and start moving in the direction of where you want to take your life and just flow with it. Flow with it. Because I know that the unknown is scary. And I've said this in most of my videos. The unknown is so scary. The unknown, you don't know where it's leading you. Like, I am sitting here, okay, and I don't know exactly what I'm doing. All I know is that I'm sitting here and I'm talking to all of you on this bench 3 times a week. I don't know where it's leading me, but this is something that I've never done in my life. So I went out of my comfort zone, out of the known, into the unknown territory. I don't have a plan. I don't have this figured out. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that I'm showing up here. And now I know that it was not just about showing up for me, but it's also that I'm showing up to help you too and allow you to see that possibilities exist for you too the moment you decide that you're done and you want to change in your life and you want to have and create a life that you want, that you envision, that you want to experience. You don't want to live in the shadows anymore. You don't want to live on eggshells anymore. You don't want to live in situations that make you feel so uncomfortable. You don't want to be sleeping next to someone you can't stand. You don't want to do these things anymore. So you got to take the decision to not want to do it anymore. And it doesn't matter how that decision is going to unfold. What matters is that you take the decision and let the universe open its doors for you and let it lead you to wherever you need to go. Because that's the other thing. You have to trust. You have to fully trust in the unknown. You have to fully trust on that decision. And even if you don't know where it's going to take you or where it's leading you, you got to trust. And that is what I'm doing. I'm trusting. I am trusting in the highest good for myself. I am trusting that I am making the best decision for the life that I want to experience. And these decisions are leading me there. And if it's showing up here and talking to you, that is something that I would have never done 3 weeks ago. I mean, I've been thinking about this for so many years. I've never done it until I really got fed up and I really got tired and I really just said, no, I need to do this for me. And here I am. So please find what you need for you and hit that bottom as hard as you can and get angry. Get angry and be done with it. Change your life because no one is going to come and change it for you. People are not going to change, okay? It's very rare for people to change. It takes a lot of psychological work for people to change. People are already molded to be a certain way, and it's very hard to break them from that pattern. I cannot change my mom. I cannot change my father. I cannot change the situation, but I can change myself, and I can change the way that I think, and I can change the way that I do things and show up in the world. I can change that. And that is why I'm here. That is why I'm here. So please, just decide that you're done and do something that moves you into the direction of the life that you want to live. Don't allow yourself to be trapped in the same past, because what you're living is a repeat of the past all over again every single day. Same emotion, same feeling, same thoughts. Same emotion, same feeling, same thoughts. And those things cannot generate a new experience until you are done with them and you want to feel other feelings. You want to feel more elevated. You want to feel inspired. You want to feel like there's possibility and opportunity. You want to feel like you are creating change in your life, and not just changing your life, but you're also creating a change in the world by showing up. By showing up, I don't mean you have to be on YouTube. Just showing up anywhere for anyone. Doing the smallest act of kindness for someone. That is showing up in some way for someone that you don't even know. It's just showing up. however it feels right to you. But you need to start getting out of the known and into the unknown, and allow yourself to swim through the unknown until you go through that river of change, and you're on the other side of that unknown, and now things start to feel more comfortable for you. Things are looking up for you, and now you're trusting more. You need to trust more in yourself and believe in yourself. And I have gotten a lot of questions about my tattoos. So I'm going to mention one story of one tattoo, because if not, it will be here forever. Um, I have here, I love watching anime. I'm a person, I love anime. I started watching anime like 6 years ago, and it is so relatable and so much more real than you can imagine, even though it's a cartoon or it's an animation. But anime goes so deep that I just love watching anime. This is Rengoku. He's from an anime called Demon Slayer, and he is my favorite character in Demon Slayer. He is the epitome of a person who is a warrior, and he does not give up until his last breath. He will fight, and he will protect the people that he cares about. He will even protect the people that he doesn't even know well, because he sees good in them. He's a warrior. He is full of this love and kindness, and just so inspiring and so giving, and he will take his last breath. Okay? He will take his last breath to make a difference, to do something good, to give. And he would never give up. And that's why I have him, because he reminds me of never giving up. And that is Rengoku. Kyojuro Rengoku. It's a very special tattoo. I got this tattoo about 5 years ago. I have not had a tattoo in around 4 years. I haven't gotten a tattoo. I haven't been able to, because financially I have not been able to. But that's the story about this tattoo here. He's a beautiful fire Hashira. I love him. He means a lot to me, and I identified with his character deeply, and that's why he's here. So after this conversation that we had today, I want you to tell me, what is the limited part of yourself that you have outgrown? Like, what have you outgrown? What version of you have you outgrown that you want to leave here on this bench with me right now? What aspect of you what is what you're done with that you want to leave here, that you don't want to put up with anymore? What are you done with? Leave it here in this bench and let me know in the comments below. Let's talk. And thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. I am grateful for you. And I will see you really soon. Bye-bye. And I don't know why I said that. Believe in yourself, trust in yourself, and please decide that you're done, really done, and start making the moves that you need to change your life. I'll see you soon.